5 games, 30 assists in this one. Credit Paul George with 7 of them, and some time for us behind the microphone at Staples.
Hey, Paul, congrats on the win and great game tonight.
Thank you.
Can you talk about the passing that you and Kawhi Leonard displayed tonight, particularly out of the pick and roll and the coverages that Portland was showing you?
I think we was just prepared. We was prepared to see, you know, how they were playing and how they were going to rotate.
Hey, Paul, it seems like a lot of your, or a good portion of your three-point attempts this year, which you shot really well, have been in transition, and it seems like Zubats, you're really benefiting from those drag screens actions with him in transition. Is that something that you talked with him about wanting to do more this year?
I think just finding opportunities, pick and roll, shooting off the pick and roll and playing in pick and roll has been a strong suit of mine. So, you know, I think it's just finding a connection when we can on those plays.
Move it, Thomas.
Hey, Paul, I just wanted to get your thoughts on your rebounding ability. You put up double figures in rebounding tonight. Have you been making a more concerted effort to kind of get down there?
Yeah. I think the more my legs get under me, the more conditioning through these games, the better I'll be, the better I'll have the energy, and you know, that's definitely a goal of mine this year, is to rebound the ball better and just pursue the ball at all times.
Mira, you can go ahead.
Hey, Paul, congrats on the win. Bill was saying that you guys are playing with trust and that he's having fun out there the way the ball's moving. Is that just a matter of you guys just playing more together, getting more time on the court?
Yeah, year 2, more again. Keep saying it's more familiarity with each other. You know, it's just a chemistry that's being built, and you know, it's a lot of guys that don't mind sharing the ball.
And like, how fun is that to kind of when that starts clicking like that?
It's real fun. It's real fun because on this team, everybody can get hot, and the great thing about that is when you're hot, we make sure that guy gets the ball, and you know, that guy make the plays.
Hey, Paul, congrats on the win. 2020 has kind of been a whirlwind for you and the team as a whole. I'm curious, having gone through everything this year, has it allowed you to play with more joy and have more appreciation and not take the game for granted so much?
Absolutely. I think, you know, in today's world, there's so much just negativity surrounded around the game, and you got to, you know, sit back and just analyze and kind of just be grateful to be in the position that you're at and that you're in. We're in an unbelievable situation as basketball players to be able to do what we love, and not a lot of people can say that. So I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's just reflecting and being proud of what you do, and having fun with it. You know, don't allow outsiders to kind of affect that. And that could be a situation. You just got to have fun with this.
How important is that joy when you go through the ups and downs of the season?
It's very important. You know, it's very important. You know, it's everything is not going to be great. Everything's not going to be perfect. There's going to be good days. It's going to be bad days. I think you just got to have fun. You got to have fun, and every game is just an evaluation to get better.
A lot of guys that like to share. I appreciated that PG brought that up. 32 assists last night, 30 tonight. So is it the trust that has to come first? Is that built along the way? We're so early on this one. I feel like the sky's the limit at this point.
Yeah, I think the trust will continue to grow. I mean, they see, and I said it right off the top, what the blueprint is for this team, and moving the ball is a big deal for them. But I'm just happy for PG. You know, the bubble didn't go great for him. He had a great offseason, motivated, ready to go, and he's off to a really good start. Watching him play, you guys, he just seems more comfortable. He seems like he is playing with with more joy. He's sharing the ball more. He does. I don't think he feels the burden of being a superstar and having to get 30 every night. He had 7 assists tonight. Just a great balance in his game, and watching him play, he just seems way more comfortable, Corey.
Well, I just love that, like you said, Don, early, that he's playing with like a free mind. And I think for a player, when you go through basically trauma for last season, you come back with a different mindset. And the way he put in this work on this offseason is really showing what he's doing on the court. So I'm just really happy for Paul George, just really focusing on himself, focusing on his team, and getting the job done.
Corey, let me break this news to you. If I signed the contract that he signed, I'd have a free mind, okay? My mind would be free right now. But having said that, he only played 28 and a half minutes tonight, and it's amazing how the ball finds the guy it's supposed to get to. 15 shot attempts, 28 and a half minutes, gets to the free throw line, has assists to his teammates. That's a good night's work in a very short amount of time.
Cheers, Coach. We should all be that joyous. But it's still,
you got me
it's
on that,
fun
Coach.
to watch.
I didn't want to say that, Coach, but you said it. I like it.
That's all right. Someone's got to bring it. He's happy. That's really all that matters. Also, another happy person tonight at Staples. At least I'm the basketball team that we've gotten used to. Small sample size, but we like Don McClain.
The blueprint is simple. Defend with energy, attention to detail on the defensive game plan, and move the ball. And oh, by the way, pretty nice to have Kawhi back, too.
Yeah, so by the way, socially distant, but not left out of this party. Corey Maggette and the coach Mike Fratello. The difference
took the L tonight. We'll get to that in a minute.
Are you teasing that up?
Yes.
Yeah, you know it happens. It happens
Coach,
to
Coach gave me a smirk, too, over here on the side, so I knew it was the L.
Man, there's no mercy. It's going to be a happy new year, but there's no mercy on the way out. All right, gentlemen, your comments as Kawhi made his way back this evening. He's our CarMax highlight of the night.
Well, I think when you look up at halftime and you see you put 76 points on the board, that's a pretty good start on your way to a victory. Shooting the ball well, defending, and as Don said, high energy at both ends of the floor. Distribute the basketball, share the basketball, and then the game is fun, especially when the shots are going down.
Well, I felt, too, Coach, that it was more relaxed having Kawhi Leonard on the floor. You saw the extra kind of bounce from even Paul George. When you have your running mate, it allows everyone else to play better, and that's what Kawhi Leonard brings to this team. Overall, from a defensive standpoint, they did a phenomenal job on Damian Lillard early. We talked about them trapping up at the top, but it was just a great overall effort from their team.
Kawhi Leonard, 28 points, 7 assists. He had a career high in assists with 6 in the first half. And as mentioned, he's our CarMax highlight of the night because this is worth a second look, Don.
Well, you always wonder how a mask is going to affect somebody, but Kawhi is so good it didn't affect him at all. I didn't see any signs that it was bothering him. He played his normal game. He let the game come to him. He didn't try and do too much early, and he ends up being the leading scorer. 28 points, 9 of 17, 3 of 5 from behind the line. So all systems go for Kawhi, even with the mask on, in a good performance. But a lot of good performances, Jeannie, that we'll talk about throughout this postgame.
And in particular, I know, Coach, you had mentioned at pregame that you were keeping an eye on the defense, specifically on Damian Lillard, who admittedly has had a slow start to the season. It's been a lot of C.J. McCollum scoring, leading that team, leading Portland with 29 points. But tonight, watching and knowing what Damian can do, what did you think of how the Clippers contained him?
They did an excellent job, and we heard Kawhi talk about the fact that they put 2 on the ball or 2 on Lillard when he had the basketball, whether it was a pick-and-roll situation, a dribble handoff situation. Lillard always saw 2 Clipper jerseys in front of him, and they weren't always tight, aggressive traps, but there they are. 2 players as he elevates, one coming from behind his head, one in front with the arm challenging. Again, a screen comes. Let's see what happens when he comes off the screen. 2 blue jerseys, so he gives the ball up. Make somebody else beat you, not Lillard with the basketball in his hands. Again, going down towards the baseline. 2 people and then a third one along the baseline he encounters. This cost him decision-making, caused him a little bit of concern as he elevated on the shot. Had a very poor shooting night.
Coach, they did an amazing job of pressuring Damian Lillard whenever he came off of that high screen roll. He didn't have any daylight. They were all contested shots, and when he tried to attack going to the basket, he saw that, matter of fact, it was a gate down there that he had people waiting for him to get blocks. We saw Zublaka 3 blocks tonight. He did an amazing job of tracking the ball, as well as Serge Ibaka, but just an overall great effort from them from a defensive standpoint, guarding a guy that averaged 30 points last season that's having a slow start this year.
Do you guys notice, looking at that package, that there's a different guy on him in every highlight that we showed? And Ty Lue talked about that before the game, giving him different looks. So you can give him different coverages, but also put different players on him to give him different looks. Great job by the Clipper coaching staff with that defensive game plan on Lillard.
Yeah, watching this game, too, it felt like the Clippers were imposing their will early and often. You know, the Portland Trailblazers finished with 19 turnovers. They're amongst the best in the NBA at controlling the ball. What do you feel like was the difference there? Was it pace? Was it movement?
Well, the Trailblazers want to play in the half court. They don't play with very much pace, but the Clippers' length, I think, bothered Portland tonight with getting in passing lanes and really, like Corey said, getting up in guys and using their size and length. Look, when the Clippers' defense is right and engaged like it was tonight, they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. So this shouldn't be a surprise. It's about building those habits that they've been talking about and making this an every night thing.
When you have multiple people that can switch onto the basketball with length, with size, it's a problem for the offensive team. And then as the offensive team lowers their head and they say, look, we got to blow by these people. If we just keep shooting jump shots, they're long, they challenge the shot. So they try to blow by you, and they encounter Ibaka and Zoo at the rim, blocking shots, protecting it, and forcing low shooting percentage. So it's a nice combination to build a good defense.
Great continuity on the defensive end. You got to have continuity from an offensive end, but they're building their continuity from a defensive end, which is showed tonight.
23 points in 28 minutes for Paul George. Plus, he found some time for us post-game. When we come back, we're going to take you guys back over to Staples and hear from the victor, Paul George, making his way to the microphone. Nice, big win for your Clippers to